I left Leaf Rest at first light, hoping to gather tundra cotton for cloth. The air was cool, Riverwood still yawning awake. I took the westward path, thinking foolishly that new roads held less danger than old ones.
I'll gut you like a fish.
A thief blocked the road. I tried to persuade her.
Yes, actually. You look like you're lousy with gold. I'm not going to ask again.
But I'd worked hard for what I had, and I wasn't going to let her take it. The fight was clumsy. My arms shook as I swung my blade. And then she hit me hard. And I heard my pulse beating in my ears, and I ran. I tried to run away, but she followed me. And before I knew it, she was on me again. I needed a potion, but I couldn't remember where I put it. And then finally, I remembered, and it saved me. I killed her. It was the first person I'd ever killed. I was shaking. I just wanted to be home, but I still needed the cotton. I wandered around and gathered what I could. And then I ran, shaking, trembling, back to at least familiar territory. I headed in the opposite direction of Whiterun, as far as my feet would take me. I'd heard of some new fishing spots. Maybe fishing would ease my nerves. But before I could make it there, my nerves would be tested again. Wolves. I tried to sneak because I really did not want to swing my blade one more time today, and so I tried to get past them. They spotted me. I had no choice but to fight again. If there was a bright spot, it was that now I had 2 more pelts. Past the guardian stones was the fishing spot, and I found some iron. It was a beautiful spot. I spoke to the woman. She was a fisherman, sort of like me.
It's not like my poaching is hurting anyone. The Jarl can hardly eat every deer now, can he?
And then I decided fishing might just be what I needed. But the gods had other plans and seemed to be testing my mettle today. Well, either Stendar is sharpening my sword arm, or Xanatar's just granted me 2 more pelts to sell. Look at that view. It almost made me forget that I almost died today. Tomorrow would be another day, and I would catch these fish and I will sell them at market. And tomorrow I'll head back to Waterview, and I will spin cloth from all the tundra cotton that I did manage to get, and I will sell it at market. The sun was setting fast. I wanted to be home. This had been a long, rough day, and I just wanted to be back at Leaf Rest. But I found myself drawing my sword once again. It was getting dark, and my nerves were shattered even after fishing. That last wolf attack had just set me back, and I longed to see the entrance to Riverwood to let me know that I was back home and I was safe. And then there it was. I'd never been so happy to see my home as I was today. I was shivering and cold, and I needed a warm fire, and I needed food in my belly. It had been such a long, hard day, and I was still very thankful to be home. Bless the divines for this bounty. I would eat, and then I would relax. The last one I started reading The Real Barenziah. A scandalous tale of a Dunmer rogue and the Queen herself. I'm not sure it cast Her Majesty in the most respectful light. Best I choose something more appropriate. The Biography of Barenziah. This one at least bears the Empire's seal. A better read for the evening, I think. Biography of Barenziah, Volume 1, by Stern Gambage, Imperial Scribe. Late in the Second Era, a girl child, Barenziah, was born to the rulers of the kingdom of Mournhold, in what is now the imperial province of Morrowind. She was reared in all the luxury and security befitting a royal dark elf child until she reached 5 years of age. At that time, His Excellency Tiber Septim I, the first Emperor of Tamriel, demanded that the decadent rulers of Morrowind yield to him and institute imperial reforms, trusting to their vaunted magic. The Dark Elves impudently refused until Tiber Septim's army was on the borders. An armistice was hastily signed by the now eager Dunmer, but not before there were several battles, one of which laid waste to Mournhold, now called Almalexa. Little Princess Barenziah and her nurse were found among the wreckage. The Imperial General Symmachus himself a dark elf, suggested to Tiber Septim that the child might someday be valuable, and she was therefore placed with a loyal supporter who had recently retired from the Imperial Army. Sven Advenson had been granted the title of Count upon his retirement. His fiefdom, Darkmoor, was a small town in central Skyrim. Count Sven and his wife reared the princess as their own daughter, seeing to it that she was educated appropriately, and more importantly, that the imperial virtues of obedience, discretion, loyalty, and piety were instilled in the child. In short, she was made fit to take her place as a member of the new ruling class of Morrowind. The girl Barenziah grew in beauty, grace, and intelligence. She was sweet-tempered, a joy to her adoptive parents and their 5 young sons, who loved her as their elder sister. Other than her appearance, she differed from young girls of her class only in that she had a strong empathy for the woods and fields, and was wont to escape her household duties to wander there at times. Barenziah was happy and content until her 16th year, when a wicked orphan stable boy, whom she had befriended out of pity, told her he had overheard a conspiracy between her guardian, Count Sven, and a Red Guard visitor to sell her as a concubine in Rehad, as no Nord or Breton would marry her on account of her black skin, and no dark elf would have her because of her foreign upbringing. "Whatever shall I do?" the poor girl said, weeping and trembling, for she had been brought up in innocence and trust, and it never occurred to her that her friend the stable boy would lie to her. The wicked boy, who was called Straw, said that she must run away if she valued her virtue, but that he would come with her as her protector. Sorrowfully, Barenziah agreed to this plan, and that very night she disguised herself as a boy, and the pair escaped to the nearby city of Whiterun. After a few days there, they managed to get jobs as guards for a disreputable merchant caravan. The caravan was heading east by side roads in a mendacious attempt to elude the lawful tolls charged on the imperial highways. Thus, the pair eluded pursuit until they reached the city of Riften, where they ceased their travels for a time. They felt safe in Riften, close as it was to the Morrowind border, so that the Dark Elves were enough of a common sight. I was exhausted. Oh. May the divines bless you. Until next time.